Welcome to the ninth episode of Frames of the Future, a brand new podcast presented by the Eleanor Rose International Film Festival. This podcast is dedicated to connecting with filmmakers and creatives from around the world, offering an inside look into their projects, their process, and the stories behind the work. We believe every artist deserves the opportunity to share their creative vision with an audience, and Frames of the Future was created to do exactly that. If you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, feel free to send us a DM or email us at contact@eleanorrosefilmfestival.com. The Eleanor Rose International Film Festival is a global celebration of bold, innovative storytelling, bringing filmmakers from around the world together in the heart of Pennsylvania. Taking place May 29th through 31st, 2026, at the historic Roxy Theater, Northampton, the festival features theatrical screenings on the big screen, a glamorous red carpet experience, exclusive networking events, and insightful talks and Q&As led by industry professionals. Whether you're an emerging artist or an established filmmaker, Eleanor Rose is where stories connect, ideas collide, and the future of film takes center stage. In today's episode, we're excited to welcome filmmaker Dylan S. Baker. Dylan S. Baker is a senior TV and film major at DeSales University. He's worked on numerous student and professional film sets, taking on roles from production assistant to director. During his time at DeSales, Dylan has created several projects, including his short film Eric and Oliver, which gained over 1 million views on YouTube after being featured at the 2024 DeSales University Film Festival. His newest film, Subject 26, is a horror short about a young woman trapped in a black box testing room. Listen to Dylan as he unpacks the creative process behind Subject 26 and reflects on his growth as a filmmaker. I'm entertainment journalist Ashley Kane. Welcome to Frames of the Future. Dylan, welcome to Frames of the Future.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yes.
From a drama about addiction and a romance film about homosexuality to a horror film about a test subject, you have enhanced your craft in a variety of film genres. What inspired you to write and direct the horror film Subject 26, which is a stark contrast to your previously submitted films?
What inspired me to make Surgery 26 is the fact that I've just loved horror my whole life. I love the complexity of it. I love that you can just like kind of play and like do whatever you want with it. I feel like that's kind of how I am like as a person. I just like to play and experiment with stuff. So yeah, I decided to make the film after watching a lot of Black Mirror. I was like really, really into it, and I was like, I love that like psychological horror aspect with that like over like that looming technology vibe that is like getting more prevalent in today's like world, like technology and just like dealing with that type of stuff. So I wanted to combine those two things, and this was just like a good opportunity for me to kind of play with that. Also am like really into fear, and that sounds crazy, but like I kind of love being scared. Like I love that like peak emotion. So I just kind of wanted to like use that as kind of like my driving force, like an experiment about fear, because who doesn't like to be scared? So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you establish that scary tone right away with the graphic animation of your production company logo, accompanied with a sound of an eerie computer, the technology that you were just talking about. You did something similar with last year's film as well. What draws you to using the company logo as a storytelling moment?
I don't know. I mean, like, it's like the first beat of your film, like that logo, like I always like think there always needs to be something under the logo, like some type of audio track because it just kind of like leads you right into the story. And especially with short films, like you have a little bit of time to really make something happen. And I am really like into hooks. Like I want people to want to watch it as soon as it comes on. Like, some people would just start their film, just like jump right into it. We kind of have to ease into the story. I want to like capture the emotion of the story from the beginning. So I've been doing that since like my first like actual film, which was Eric and Oliver, where I just like start with something in the background to kind of like just like let you come into the story like smoothly. So I just like to play with that every time. And like I don't know, my logo is like very like minuscule, but like I just kind of like to just play with it. And like I feel like production logos are still a little like iffy with short films. Like you don't really have time to like show your thing. So that's why I just want to make sure it's a part of the story as well. So like it earns its spot at the beginning of the film. Yeah. So I really love it.
Yeah, it definitely immerses the audience into your story right from the beginning. And I think that's so important with short films nowadays, with the influx of how many there are, and also to include that with your production company logo just
Mhm.
solidifies a stylistic, cho not only a stylistic choice, but a brand. And you're just like, and it helps you just create that personal brand to like
like let you like stick out amongst all these other filmmakers who are also creating these films. And I
Mhm.
really like appreciated that. And there's a barely any dialogue in the film, and instead you use many visuals to tell the story. And I was wondering what led you to that approach.
Yeah, writing the script for Subject 26 was just, like, so hard for me. It kinda took me a little bit to, like, get comfortable with it because I was like, "There's not much going on. There's a girl in a room in a chair watching things happen, like, what can I do to make this still interesting?" And I, like, kinda didn't wanna use dialogue because there wasn't really room for it, like, I mean, somebody's in the room by themselves. I kinda didn't wanna be cheesy and have her, like, talk to herself, like, talk through her emotions. I just wanted to see them, and that's something I, like, really, lean towards with, like, my directing style, like, visual storytelling, even when I'm doing like DP work with like Joey for his film Conversation at the End of the World. I just like wanted to really like tell the story visually, and like that's always my first priority because dialogue could be whatever. And I'm also not the best with dialogue, so like I just like to just show rather than tell, and like that's just something they like really like hone in on, especially at my school is show don't tell, show don't tell. So it's like now it's like really an opportunity to play with that and really just see if I can show and not tell and see if it still works. And yeah, I'm pretty proud of how it came out. Like I said, it just worried me for a while, like if it was gonna be worth it and like if like it was enough going on. Even on set, I was like let me just make sure that I have all my story beats in there. And we like moved really fast too because we were on a time crunch, like as all films always are. Yeah, so I just wanted to really hone in on that and like use what I knew visually and like what would respond to me personally and just like portray that in this. Yeah, so that's kinda the direction I went with that.
Yeah, it definitely allows viewers to notice other things within the film, like other techniques that you use, and not just focus on like what the characters are saying or doing. It's like
Mhm.
allows them to really, immerse themselves in the space, which I really appreciated. And also, there's so many horror cliches out there. How did you, not as like in that writing process, how did you not lean into those, especially when I was watching, the young woman in your story, like she didn't really scream that much. Like she was, you could tell she was scared through her facial expressions, but it wasn't like a cliche where it's like, oh, like he's right, but like he's coming after you. Like it was more of just like, oh, like she's watching this and she's taking it all in and she's scared, but she's not full, like, it's, you know what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, I liked, one thing I told, my actor Maya, I was like, "I really want you to focus on your internal version of fear rather than, like, external fear." Like, if you see somebody that's scared, they're, like, shaking and they're nervous and they're, like, being all jittery, I wanted her to, like, think about why she's scared more to, like, let it be more internal, I guess, yeah, like, and I, like, told her to focus on, like, stillness, like, a still because there's, like, 3 different responses to fear. It's, like, flight what is it? Wait, okay.
Oh.
It's, like, fight, flight, or freeze. Yes, and I was like, "Okay, like, I want, like, freeze to be, like, your main, like, thing that you go to first, and then, like, flight is, like, last resort because she's not gonna fight, like well, she actually does because she kicks the chair towards so, like, I just wanted to have her do everything, but at least for while she was sitting down, like, I wanted her to kinda, like, be like frozen in fear kind of and just like absorb and then kind of let things build up. Because in my head, there's kind of like 3 different waves of her fear. Like in the beginning where we just show pictures, she's just like, "Okay, this is kind of scary, like a little spooky, like I probably shouldn't be looking at this." And then once the videos come on, it's like, "Oh, like this is real, like things are starting to like amp up for her." And that 3rd wave is when things like come to life in front of her and she's like, "Oh, like this is like my final level." So I really just wanted to crescendo her fear kind of and like change each version of it with each like section of the experiment, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting because it's kind of like she's going, like you go through the stages of grief, but this is like going through the stages of fear. And,
Mhm.
first, like as you explained it with the fight, flight, or freeze, like that's really interesting and an interesting take for us storytellers to kind of use it as a like writing framework.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to talk about the bracelet. It becomes
Mhm.
a major key symbol in your film. And I'm wondering, like, why did you choose a bracelet?
Yes, I'm very glad you asked this question because this is like my little Easter egg. Because like in all my films, I like to put little pieces of myself in it, and especially with clothing. Like for Eric and Oliver, my main character wore a necklace that I used to wear all the time that I lost actually. But I like to think that when you lose like things that are special to you, they've like kind of served their purpose. But yeah, so every time I have like a new character, a new story, I like to give them something that kind of belongs to me. So I gave Maya this, well, the character, the bracelet. I don't have it on right now. I usually always have it on, but it's a bracelet that my aunt made me like when I was like a kid, and it's like the only like family memorabilia I have, and it just reminds me of family. So like that's why I was like, oh, I kind of want this to kind of represent the main character's family, like her brother. It's not like super explaining the story, but like her brother like has cancer and she's doing the experiment to like get money for his cancer treatment. And I was like, okay, this reminds me of family. Like I kind of want that to remind her of family. And that's why like I had the little insert of it when we showed the hospital bed thing, like just to like give those little breadcrumbs and like I don't know. It just has a special meaning to me. And like that's why I wanted it to kind of be portrayed in the film too. It just like helps me as a director kind of get more into the story and understand the characters if I like put a piece of me in it. So it just like is fully coming from me. So yeah.
No, that definitely makes a lot more sense because when she's trying to like escape, there's those flashes of her with her brother at the hospital bed. And then when she was like touching her bracelet and stuff, that as you said, it reminds uh her of family. There's then those flashes of her family. So I think that's
Hmm.
a very nice touch and so subtle, but like yeah, it's something that, viewers mm, like really need to watch and pick up on, but like it is you can see that. And I think that's really cool that you infuse, a little part of yourself into the film because I feel like as filmmakers, we are telling stories which can be our own or other people's, but like how are we connected to that and um how are we telling the story as well, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And I feel like as a filmmaker, you have to like have your voice. Like nobody's going to be able to tell a story like you, like from your perspective, from your experience, because everybody's different. So, I just really like to remember that and know that like it's nobody's going to be able to tell the story the way I will. Like, not that they aren't able to, it's just like nobody will ever have your experience ever. So, I just like to play with that and like really dive into it. And I like encourage that from other people as well. Like make your stories you because like I said, nobody can tell your story like you. Even if it's not your story, if it's somebody else's story from your perspective, you could take it any different way. And that's why like I love directing and I just love doing stuff like that. It's just like so good. I love it.
No, definitely. Oh my gosh, that was very, very well said. And, I also want to talk about the bracelet. Oh, like one more thing about it. So I kind of felt like it symbolized the character's imprisonment in the
Mm,
testing room as well, because when she puts it on, it's like boom, the test starts. Uh,
yeah.
was that your intention, or how do you think about its role symbolically?
Yeah, that's actually good because I haven't thought about it too much. I don't know exactly what it was that made me like make that kind of the starting beat. But I wanted her like as soon as she like woke up, the first thing I wanted her to think about was the fact like why she's there. And then she remembered why she's there, and she's like, my brother. And then she's like looking for this bracelet because like it really does mean that much to her, to where like if she doesn't have it on, she doesn't feel complete. So like I kind of wanted her to like step into it. It kind of just like her character existing. Like this is like now I'm here, and I think this test, like in the lore of like this film, like recognized that like oh now she's fully in it. Like this is her accepting her fate, I guess. So that's why as soon as she quits it, like it's boom, like go right into it. And I just thought it like worked well as a beat, kind of to like initiate the test. Like anything could have prompted the start of it, like, but I wanted that to be something specific to like really get us into it. So yeah, that's kind of what it means to me, I guess. I haven't
Yeah.
thought about that, but yeah, it was just right off the dome.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I think
it
yeah,
was right. Yeah.
yeah, it's because, we also have to think that these characters are also human and they have personal lives outside of the story. So it's cool to like, and it very much establishes that character motivation and that character desire to like want to help her brother. And then later it pays off when the screen tells her, oh, if you forfeit, you'll lose the $10,000 to help your brother. So yeah, I think that was a really great like opening moment for her, like as a character.
Yeah.
I do want to talk to you about this screen because that did play a significant role in telling the story.
Mhm.
Can you walk me through how you created the testing screen from what was on set and what was then added in post, maybe?
Yeah. So at our school, we have a virtual production studio. I honestly have feel like feels well, sorry, rephrase that. Yeah, so at our school, we have a virtual production studio, and I feel like it's kind of been misused or like not used the way it's like originally intended. So I was like, I'm gonna misuse it too, but I'm gonna play with it a little bit. Well, I knew the screen was huge, and I just like thought like, wow, like if I was like a really small person, this would be so daunting. So I was like, okay, let's play with that. Like I kind of like that. And we just like have this big space, this like blank black box room. It's like this huge screen. And like we never really turn all the lights off in there. So when we like did like our first like test to kind of see the space, see kind of like how much we had to work with, like and we emptied the room and I was like, I really just want to see it in like bare bones. And yeah, and like the screen was just so big, and I was like, I really want to emphasize like the fact that like somebody could be so small and have this big looming presence over her, kind of. And I just thought that was like, I don't know, I really want to emphasize that. There's like one shot where I just wanted to show that visually was like when she's walking up to the chair and like starts on her feet and we like pan up and it's just full screen. Like there's not even it just fills the whole frame. It's like that massive. I just really want to show the scale of it. Um yeah, and for the screen, it's kind of just like a computer screen. Like if you like drag a tab over like to the TV or whatever, it's kind of like that. Um, yeah, and I made all the graphics on like Canva, because it just needed to be like a white screen and like pictures and like videos and stuff. So I kind of just all put it in there, just so it's the easiest way of like displaying it. Yeah, and then I just put it on the screen, and I was like, wait, this looks kind of good, and it kind of reminded me of like a presentation. So I was like, okay, like this kind of works. So yeah, I was originally worried that it would come off to like this is a screen presentation type of thing, but like the size of the screen and like the way it's shaped and like the way like the pixels on it are just like all weird. Like I thought it really like worked for the story, and yeah, that's why we use it, and I just love it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as you were talking about like that theme of power and that specific camera angle you use to show the screen on like the screen is like bigger than her, I think that definitely shows and just how it has so much power in the story. Not only is it telling the story, but it's also like kind of telling her like what's going on and what's going to happen to her.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I think that like that's a very much a strong theme of power, and I think that's very interesting. And so you did it all in production, you're saying, like you took
Hmm.
the Canva elements and you put it on the screen, like nothing in post.
No, yeah, it was just there. Yeah, all the shots of the screen were just like recorded in camera. Yeah. I mean, there wasn't really any room, I feel like, to do anything in post, like besides the sound design stuff, which is another small thing I'll get into in a second. But yeah, I just wanted to like use it the right way. But yeah, and going back to that sound design thing really quick, there was like not a lot of room for sound, I feel like, on set because like she's not doing much. It's in the room, she's sitting down. So I kind of wanted to like play with like building the tension through sound with that too. And like the screen, like I picked like specific like sound things for the screen. Like there's like a hum and like small little beeps and stuff like that. So I just like wanted to give the screen like a presence and stuff. So yeah, that's why I wanted to play with that a little bit more. Yeah.
Yes, you can definitely see that with the sound and like it felt very intentional. Uh yeah, and I do want to talk about your talents don't stop at Subject 26. You were also the director of photography, like you said earlier, for both films Joey Tangradi submitted. Did working as DP on those projects influence how you approached directing your own film?
Um, Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, like visual storytelling is my like number one thing. Like I just want people to understand through what they're seeing. So yeah, I mean, I love doing DP work, especially with Joey. Like he just has a specific vibe like for his films that I really connect with. Like they're very character based. And I like to like make the camera a character too. Like, and I don't know if that's just like not typical, but like I want to like this is our medium. Like that's how we're viewing the story. Like I want the camera to kind of feel like it's just as much part of the story as the characters are because it is. I mean, it's a perspective. It's how things are being like, you know, seen. So yeah, I just like to play with that a lot. And when it comes to directing, like I think that does like coincide with my directing because it's like I want you to feel a part of the story. So like I kind of like make little like things happen in the script, or like just small little innuendos to stuff to like make things come to life a little bit more. Yeah, so I really do love DP work. I'm not the most like technical with cameras and stuff, but like give me a shot list and like I'll tell you what's up. And like movement and like intentional movement and not just like moving the camera just to move it. Like I want to like have motivation behind everything. So yeah, I want like because I this is one thing I do a lot. I like to ask why. It's like one of my annoying things that I do is just like why this, why that. Like I want intention behind everything because everything does have intention. You just have to find it. So yeah, I want to play with that.
Yeah, definitely. And you can totally see that in the film. And, you were talking about like working with Joey as well, and you brought on many filmmakers from Joey's sets to work on your film, including Joey himself. Uh, you also worked with him and much of the same crew on your project last year. What keeps you coming back to this group of collaborators?
Um, they're just so talented. Like, well, I couldn't have it any other way. At our school, I mean, our major is not huge. Like, I've seen bigger like majors like at other schools, but our major is very not super small, but like there's like maybe 60 people, probably a little bit more than that, like not that many. So we kind of have to collaborate, and I feel like we always learn better on set than we do in the classroom. Like just because like you only learn when you do things. Like you have to like go through trial and error. And I've been through so much trial and error with the specific group and like I just like know what they can do. And even then, like they can do so much more. So I like to switch up positions. Like there was a couple projects I had Joey as first AD. I like had him as BTS photographer. I've had like a few people be like my camera operator and DP for Series 26. She was like my gaffer on another project. So like I just like to like collaborate with this specific group of people and like yeah, Sam Kennedy, Joey Tangradi, like both of those two because we're producing a film right now. Yeah, so those two specifically, like I will always have them on my sets as long as I can because I know their work ethic and I know they care about the craft of filmmaking like just as much as I do. So like it's just I love to just use those same people. And I'm not like super strict with it either. Like I'll have people outside to like come in and like do stuff just so they can kind of see the workflow and kind of like get into it like that. So yeah, I love working with them. They're super cool and super talented.
Yeah, and they seem like it. I mean, I was talking to Joey about it last episode, and it was just it it's so amazing, like the different projects you all are working on, but it's all coming together to create this like amazing story. I asked a similar question to Joey last episode, so I'm curious to ask you as well. Is there one crew member you've worked with on all of your sets that you've seen grow the most?
Oof. Um, ooh, okay. I mean, there's a lot. Like, I don't know. Everybody just gets so much better with every project. And they've all done so many different things. Who specifically though? They all are just like so good. Like we really do like grow together. Like I think everybody kind of puts their best foot forward and like we really do learn a lot from each other. And like some people just like kind of start off with like even like at our school, like freshmen start off with like the basic positions like a grip or like boom up or like a second AC with like slate. And like as you kind of just get more into it, people just kind of like gravitate towards certain things. And like everybody kind of just like builds each other up. Like we all help each other a lot. We teach each other how to like do everything here. Especially as seniors, like we kind of have to like be those like leaders. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think everybody I work with has grown so much and like they've definitely showed me that, they want to take this like seriously, I guess. In film, like it's kind of scary, like thinking about like the outside world and like the fact that like you don't really know if anything's guaranteed, but like I know at least we have each other and like we have learned from each other and we know how to handle things, which is the biggest thing. Like in filmmaking, you just have to learn how to adjust and like be able to take on these things and like handle challenges well. And yeah, I think everybody that I work with has like done such a great job at doing that. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely like leaning on the other filmmakers and having that support system is like so important, especially like, as you said, as a senior and you're about to like graduate soon and go into the outside world, into the big entertainment industry. It's always good to like have those connections. And I do feel like our industry that we are going into and studying for is meant to have those connections and create those connections to like land us those jobs. So that's like so like inspiring to hear that like you guys are working together.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like do you think like working with this group is like challenges you, or do you think it makes it easier as you go into a project?
Yeah, honestly, I will say it makes it easier, but thinking about it, I kind of do want to be challenged. I mean, that's the point, I guess. Like you want to grow. I just know like this specific crew, like it's a cycling crew, but there's a few consistent people like Joey and Sammy and like, all those people. I definitely feel like it's been easier working with the same crew because they all like know what they're doing and we all kind of have the same type of ideas and we have similar like we just think about film the same way, so it kind of helps things move. And when issues come up, like they know exactly how to handle it because we've dealt with it before or dealt with something similar or just like know what's going on. But working with different crew members definitely could be a challenge, and it's a challenge that I kind of want to face. That's what makes me excited to like leave school and like experience things like outside of here because I want to work with new people and like understand different workflows because like that'll help people like me or just anybody in general become more well-rounded and like know how to handle people because on set you're not doing this by yourself. It's never a solo project. Like you work with other people and it's really good to experience how other people work because you might pick up something or you might see something you don't like and realize that like okay, this is how I want to handle myself, how I want people to treat me based off like what I've done with this person. So I always think it's good to collaborate with new people and like work with people you never thought you work with before. That's why I always love like cycling in like new crew members, like, see kind of how they work and like people who I trust. So yeah.
I wanted to piggyback off of that. I feel like working with new people and everything definitely like allows you to grow as a professional and learn new things and yeah, just make you a more well-rounded filmmaker. So yeah, that's definitely like very exciting to, finally like get out of this college bubble and, figure out like what's really out there. And we've been talking a lot about growth, and I want to hear about your growth because after watching Subject 26, it feels like there's been a lot of growth in your filmmaking from last year to this year. Do you feel that as well? And what has helped you grow in this art form?
Yeah, I definitely can say that I've grown a lot as a filmmaker and like as a person. I just like have become more connected to like other people, I guess. Like I don't know. I kind of just like grew up kind of like in my own head, kind of by myself, and like being in college, like being around so many people all the time really just encompasses you with like so much. And there's just so many like different personalities that happen around you, and it kind of just like forces you to kind of like just like be able to handle everything, I guess. Um, and even with like my films, like my first actual film was Eric and Oliver, and I watched that. I'm like, oh, like I was such a baby back then. Like I could do so much better now. But like those steps are very like fundamental to growth, and like you have to like make something that I guess in your eyes wouldn't be the best, like so you can like know what to do for next time. And I just like I'm super critical of myself too. So like I will watch my old stuff to be like, okay, here's what I would do if I had to redo this, just so I can kind of like stay sharp. Like I think of it less of like a self-criticizing thing and more of like, okay, this is what I can do to get better. So like I just like to focus on those things and like make sure that I'm being effective in telling any story. Because at the end of the day, I'm telling a story. So you just want to be able to make it look good and make it effective and make people like feel something from it. So I just always try to emphasize like those type of things and figure out how I can keep getting better with, storytelling. Um, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else that I feel like I've grown with film. Um, yeah, I mean, it's just trial and error. I feel like you just kind of have to see what works and see what doesn't. And like every time you're just going to keep getting better. I mean, there's really no place to go but up, I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's nice to like be able to look back at your previous work and be like, oh, okay, I know for next time this is what I want to improve. And then you have that goal and then you can, pursue that goal and then again have that kind of satisfactory like reward to see what you worked on and be like, oh my gosh, like I achieved that goal. Now, what in this project do I want to do better next time? And then just keep working towards that, which
Yeah.
is very like interesting way to go about this industry. And I think that's really cool to see. Uh, yeah, and I want to talk about the Eleanor Rose International Film Festival awarded you as the best director last year. How did that recognition impact your approach to filmmaking this year?
getting that award was like my first actual award I've ever received. Like I never considered myself an award-winning filmmaker kind of until then. And it's just like I don't know, it made me really happy because I was like, wow, like the one thing, like my biggest passion is directing. Like I really just like on one hand, I care so much about performance. Like I love acting myself. Like I love to just kind of be in that world. So, it is like my one thing that I just like really want to be good at and just like telling a story overall, not just through characters, like just like spreading a message in some way, even if it's not like a preachy message. Like I just want to like tell somebody something. Like I always am full of something to tell. Like I just love to talk. So yeah, so it just like kind of inspired me to really just keep going and like not be afraid to direct because directing stuff is like every filmmaker's dream, I guess. Like everybody just wants to be in the director's chair. But like I really, really like want to hone in on telling a story, not just like making something and having people see it. Like of course that's a amazing factor, but I just really want to tell stories. So yeah, it just inspired me more to just like challenge myself with that and like do anything I could to make myself a better director every day. Yeah, yeah. So it helped a lot, and I was very grateful to be in the festival and to receive an award and just like be amongst so many other talented filmmakers and like see other people's work like outside of school. Like it was just really inspiring too. It just like made me want to keep going. It just proved that I have the capabilities to really do what I love. And yeah, I found my passion here by accident. I didn't even know I wanted to do film. I just liked watching movies. And then like I made one and I was like, wait, this is kind of good. Like I let me keep doing this. Yeah, so it just helps me, be me, I guess.
Yeah, like what are you looking forward to this year, going into your second year
Yeah, this year I'm looking forward, well, at the festival or like in
at the
general.
festival? Yeah.
Yes. At the festival, I mean, I'm looking forward to see how it's progressed. I know last year was the first year it, like started, so like I'm really happy, well, excited to see like what else is going to be seen there. I'm excited to see people's work from like, well, I'm sure people who submitted last year are probably going to submit this year. So like, I'm excited to see what these other people I met like have created too. I'm excited to just be there. The venue was so cool. The event was so cool. Like everything was just like it was perfect. It was a whole vibe and like I ran our oh sorry. I ran our film festival at DeSales and like it just like inspired me to kind of just like do it more. I mean, this was my last year doing it. It was in March. Well, yeah, it was in March. So like, it just makes me want to be collaborative more. It just like makes you want to be in those type of spaces. So I'm really excited to meet the filmmakers and see what the festival has in store. Really excited.
Yeah, I bet that role really helped you, go into this, like our festival, Eleanor Rose and stuff, and being in kind of the behind the scenes role of a festival instead of like, going to a festival and being in front of the screen almost.
Yeah, yeah. And Eleanor Rose was my first film festival I was in for like a solo project, I guess, like not something I made with a group. And yeah, it just was just so inspiring. And I was just like, wow, like, people really put a lot into like film festivals because like, well, Jake did a phenomenal job running the whole festival. Like it was just like so good. And like you really have to have a passion for art to like create a space for other people to show theirs. And like it's just so good. Like I love it. Like I love that aspect. It's like the other piece of filmmaking. Like, yeah, you want to make something good, but you also want to share it with the community. And like that is just like it's just like one of my favorite pieces of it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely really cool to like meet people who are called to do that because so many of us want to be like those filmmakers creating that art, but to be the one championing it behind the scenes is a whole different calling and it's very like interesting to see that part of the festival as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like working with Jake these past couple of months I've seen it and it's so incredible like how driven he is and how much like work yeah as you said like goes into it yeah and with that I want to go to the game segment. Dylan, this is the Would You Rather Film Edition. Six questions, rapid fire, no explanation, no thought, just whatever you think right away. Okay, are you ready?
Mhm.
Okay. For your next project, would you rather DP or direct?
I rather direct. Yes.
Okay. Would you rather write a horror, drama, or romance film?
Romance.
Would you rather win Best Director 2 years in a row or receive recognition in another award category?
I'd rather receive recognition in another award category.
Would you rather work with the same crew forever or expand your network by working with a brand new team every time?
I'd definitely love to expand my network for sure.
Would you rather be known for directing, writing, or cinematography in the industry?
Directing.
Would you rather pursue film in LA, the heart of the entertainment industry, immediately after graduating, or on the East Coast, where the film industry is continuing to grow?
Definitely the East Coast, gotta say.
All right. Thank you so much, Dylan, for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. This was so fun, and I'm so excited to see how everything turns out. I'm so excited for the festival. I'm very proud of everything, and I can't wait for people to see everybody's work, including mine, maybe.
Me too. Thank you so much.
I'm entertainment journalist Ashley Kane. Thanks for watching.